Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Shimano RC703 carbon fiber cycling shoe. Shimano's RC7 shoes have been a popular option for cyclists looking for high-performance cycling shoes at a relatively affordable price point. The new RC703 shoes are the latest iteration of the RC7 shoes and feature improved fit and breathability. Packaging is very simple. You just have a cardboard box with the blue Shimano logos printed directly on there. Then you can see the Euro 44 version that we have here in the sage green color. I'll go ahead and open this up. We'll go over the specs. So retail price on this is $250. These are marketed as carbon fiber shoes for race ready. You have dual BOA L6Z dials, so it's a improved design that's sleeker. And you also have the Power Zone lace guides, which is a big improvement over the previous version, so better stability and comfort. You also have a nice low stack height for efficient power transfer and enhanced cooling with extended vents and perforations along the sides. As far as what comes with the shoes, you can see it's pretty much the shoes, a little bit of packing material, their gigantic guide here, as well as a little instruction sheet on how to adjust the cleat position and the little spacers that are provided. Now let's take a look at the weight of the RC7 shoes. So if we take the left shoe, it's a Euro 44 size. You can see it's 266 grams, and then the right side, it's a little bit different at 269. Visually, the RC7 shoes have always mimicked the S-PHYRE RC9 design with their surround wrapping upper material and dual BOA Fit system. Where the S-PHYRE shoes have a flashy, color-shifting designs, RC7 just have simple, solid color schemes with a more traditional heel cup. Shimano currently offers these shoes in 3 different colors: white, black, and sage green, which is what we have here. It's also available in a women's variation, as well as a wide option, so quite a few options. You can see with the sage green here, it's almost a metallic finish, so you can see how with the light hits it, it has a semi-gloss appearance and a very subtle geometric design. So you can see it's a darker green here, but then when the light hits it, you can see you have a lighter green in the middle. Then it goes darker again here with these black lines that add a little bit of contrast and graphical appeal to them. You also have this nice reflective stripe on the rear along that seam for additional visibility at night. And you can see the heel cup is a much more simpler rubber finish rather than the iridescent one that you find in the S-PHYRE. It's a very cool design with that same surround design, but with this one, it's a synthetic leather. Still quite soft, but you can see it has a little bit more stiffness and structure to it, and not quite as many cool tech features as the S-PHYRE. Ventilation on the RC703 shoes has also been improved relative to the 702. As you can see, you have these perforations along the top, and they extend further back than the other shoe. They're variable sizing as well, so it provides more air where you need it. And you can see again, extends all the way almost down to the center of the shoe. In order for these RC7 shoes to achieve that mid-range price of $250, the BOA dials are not the Li2. Instead, you get the BOA L6Z. They look very similar to the Li2 dials. It's actually a newer variation of the L6. So slim design, has a little rubber grip rather than the grooves or metal finishes like you see in the higher end shoes. And it only has micro tightening, so one direction will tighten, and then you pull up for a full release. So you can't pull it the other direction. That's a big difference between their top of line dials. They eliminate the micro loosening feature, and that's pretty much what you see at this price point typically. You can see it has a similar 2-strap design as the S-PHYRE RC9. You have a top strap, and you can see the dials reinforced and directly attached to the strap. So this will adjust the top fit. And then on the toe box, you have this interesting power lacing system. So it has these guides along the edges that are integrated into the upper material. And you get this 3-row design. So as you pull this in, you can see it pulls it in to give you a nice solid fit without being uncomfortable. If I open these up too, you can see this opens up pretty wide. But again, you really have this wraparound design. So you can see instead of having a tongue here, the upper material simply goes around and goes a little inside. So it really pulls your feet in and provides great stability. As far as the outsole, you can see these are race ready, which means you get a full carbon fiber sole. It's not the stiffest version, it's a stiffness index of 10 out of 12 for Shimano's range, but still very stiff. You have a 3-bolt cleat setup, and you can see these little red spacers here. These are removable and rearrangeable, and it prevents the rattling you get when you don't have these, as these can move around. You have a nice vent on the front, another vent on the back to let air get through it, and this glossy black surround. You have extra rubber material here on the toe, and then the heel pad as well to protect the base of the shoes. You can see you also have these nice grid patterns here to help you position the cleat, as you don't have the memory eyelet, so when you place the cleat, you just want to remember the line or mark it. And with all these lines, it makes it very easy to position it properly. As far as the insoles of the shoes, you can see if I open it up, we have a nice foam design. So quite thick compared to your lower end shoes. Shimano branding on there, and you can see tons of perforations here that match the venting on the shoe itself. It also wraps around. It has nice arch support, so you can see it curves up. And you can see all these little grooves here that again help with the airflow. If you look inside the shoe, it also has a unique feature I haven't seen with other shoes. It actually has this channel, so you can see that plastic piece. That matches the vents at the bottom of the shoe. And it provides this nice cooling channel that extends from the front all the way to the rear, which is essentially see-through here. So you can see right through it. So a pretty cool design that should keep you nice and cool. Speaking of the ventilation too, you can see the vents here are pretty nicely sized, so as the light hits it, you can see through it. And then there's this extra black material here that's quite translucent as well. Now let's take a look at the RC703 shoes on the road. As you can see, they look great on the bike. You have this nice metallic finish on them, so they really shine in the sun. It's not quite as cool as the iridescent finishes on the S-PHYRE, but you still get very similar styling with the wraparound design, dual BOA dials, and then a very stiff and stable carbon sole. So overall, really impressed with the shoes. Obviously, they're half the price of the S-PHYRE, but they feel like they're almost 90 or 95% of the same performance. They have great ventilation, and again, very comfortable, so whether you're doing short or long rides, we never had any pressure points or issues. Even with the standard Euro 44 versions, they're a nice wide toe box. And even though we normally wear Euro 44 wide in the S-PHYRE, they're still very comfortable, so the upper material is flexible. And with the wraparound design, it's nice and stable. It really keeps your foot in place and eliminates any of the pressure points that you get with the older style shoes, which add a lot more structure. So really impressed with the shoes. They're a great deal, especially compared to the S-PHYRE, which are double the price. You miss out on some of the styling, like the mirror finishes or the iridescent design, but otherwise, they're still really nice. The only downside with these shoes is they do downgrade the BOA dials. They don't have micro loosening, just micro tightening, so if you want to loosen them, you have to pull up to do a full release and then tighten them again. It's a minor inconvenience, but otherwise very easy to use. And with these updated BOA dials, they're nice and sleek looking, so they look like the higher end dials, just don't have the micro loosening feature. So overall, really impressed with them. They're a really solid shoe, and they make a lot more sense than the S-PHYRE. Now let's do a little comparison between the RC7 shoes and other shoes on the market. As you can see here, we have a wide range of shoes, including the RC903. So you can see this one has the beautiful blue iridescent design, much more pronounced external heel cup, while this one's more of a rubber lower design. You can see they both have the dual BOA dials, and the big difference here is just the materials and the stiffness of the carbon fiber sole. But otherwise you can see almost identical, same lacing pattern. You get the Li2 with the S-PHYRE, which gives you the micro loosening, but otherwise very similar. You can see perforation patterns are even identical. On the base, again, 3-bolt setup, a little different vents on here, but otherwise almost identical, but this one has the stiffness index of 12 versus the 12 of this almost forged carbon fiber design on the S-PHYRE. We also have the S-PHYRE Power, which is even more expensive. This one has a single Li2 dial with the metal dial, which looks really cool, but almost double the price. It's $475 versus the $250. So the RC7 has always been the better deal as far as financially. As far as some other mid-range shoes, we have the Canyon Tempr CFR shoes. You can see this is their first version, RSO1. You have the BOA Li2 dials with the metal dials, which is really cool. And this shoe is only around $300, so pretty nice deal. Typically you don't get Li2. But otherwise you see a nice knit finish on the middle, very flexible upper, and a similar surround design, but with the dials in different places. You can see they've also mimicked the S-PHYRE design with the kind of concealed sole, while the RC7 has a more traditional extended one. We also have the Bont shoes in the shiny red here. This is the Riot 24, latest version, more traditional design, so dual BOA dial with a traditional tongue. Makes it really easy to put on and take off. This is a Euro 44 wide, so you can see how much wider it is. Well, this is a standard width Euro 44, but you can see when you open this up, it's nice and big, while this wraparound design kind of gets in the way. But otherwise very similar. Bont has a very unique carbon fiber sole that's actually heat moldable. It's more of a bathtub, so you can see it extends all the way around, rather than this internal bit and then the concealed plate on the inside. There also is the Trek RSL shoes with their Mentnet design. So you can see you have a bigger rear heel cup, dual BOA dials, more traditional tongue design. And then they even have the Velocis, which is a little bit more affordable. And similar design again with the Mentnet and flexible upper, but more traditional lacing pattern rather than the 360 surround appearance. So a lot of options to choose from. But with Shimano, you always get the really nice traditional or higher end features at this more affordable price point with the RC7. Now let's go to the pros and cons for the Shimano RC703 shoes. What I like about them, they're very affordable. You get a lot of the S-PHYRE features at almost half the price. Also, they have a nice stiff and stable design, so they're great for short or long rides, whether you're doing high effort sprints or just cruising. Also, the dual BOA Fit system with the wraparound design is a nice feature, especially at this lower price point, and keeps your foot nice and stable and gives you a lot of adjustment. The main negative with these shoes is the fact that the BOA L6Z dials do lack the micro loosening, so you can't easily loosen them during a ride. Taking everything into account would give the Shimano RC703 shoes a 9.5 out of 10. These are S-PHYRE quality, but at mid-range price. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.